Intelligence leaders on Capitol Hill today briefing lawmakers on the worldwide threats, including Iran. D&I Director Tulsi Gabbard also asked about her role in the FBI's raid on a Georgia ballot office related to the 2020 election. Here's ABC's Jay O'Brien.
Tulsi Gabbard's appearance in Fulton County, while Gabbard says she was not part of a law enforcement operation in an official capacity and was there at the request of the president, is far afield of what the Director of National Intelligence job is. The Director of National Intelligence oversees the intelligence community, aggregates intelligence from essentially across the various agencies in the government, and then briefs the president, gives the president options, things of that nature.
In Northern California, some 2,400 Kaiser Permanente mental health professionals are on strike today, pushing back over concerns the Oakland-based Kaiser could replace human therapists with AI. Emma Olson is a Kaiser therapist and union representative for the National Union of Healthcare Workers.
The use of chatbots for therapy is not supported by research. There's nothing that shows that that can be helpful for patients.
Kaiser says the union claim is false and that AI will not replace human assessment or make care decisions for patients. They're both negotiating a new contract. In Florida, ABC News has learned what caused the closure of the Dale Mabry Gate to MacDill Air Force Base for several hours Monday. Multiple sources briefed on the incident say a package contained what appeared to be an improvised explosive device. Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
Shh, here she comes. Surprise! They sent a duplicate shipment to your flower shop. Now you have to pay for 1,000 extra carnations. Also, there's a beehive outside your store, and they're super aggressive. There's thousands of them.
Progressive knows small business owners usually don't like surprises because they cost you money. But a good surprise, saving 13% on commercial auto insurance when you pay in full.
Also, the egg salad you just ate was expired. Gross.
Surprise yourself. See if you can save in as little as 8 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
News Talk 610 AM and 102.1 FM. KVNU.
.405 now in the KPNU studio on this beautiful Wednesday afternoon. I'm Will Feelright with your local headlines as we begin KPNU's For the People show. Well, the Student Nutrition Access Center, which is nicknamed SNAC at Utah State University, is struggling to accommodate a dramatic surge in students who are needing help with food insecurity. Now, since moving to the Taggart Student Center in 2018, the pantry has seen student visits skyrocket from about 5,000 annually to a projected 30,000 by the end of this school year. Now, Program Director Jonathan Walters said the demand exploded after pandemic-era assistance programs ended, and that's left the center with severely limited storage space and food donations. Now, despite the growing numbers, Walters noted the pantry currently serves less than 30% of the student body, even though a recent university assessment estimated that 62% of USU students experience some form of food insecurity. Now, while university organizations are exploring options for off-site storage or a larger facility, pantry leaders are urging students not to hesitate to ask for help and encourage the public to support campus pantries statewide. Meanwhile, a Summit County jury's decision this week to convict Corey Richens of aggravated murder after less than 3 hours of deliberation is highlighting the overwhelming evidence that was presented by prosecutors, according to legal analysts. Now, Richens was found guilty of fatally poisoning her husband, Eric Richens, with a dose of fentanyl back in March of 2022. Now, during the 6-week trial in Park City, prosecutors had detailed her financial debts, an extramarital affair, and previous poisoning attempts. Now, senior investigative reporter Annie Emerson noted that the exceptionally quick verdict suggests that jurors were completely unified by the state's timeline and forensic evidence. Now, the defense rested without calling any witnesses or having Richens testify. It's a strategy that many believe prevented opening the door to further damaging cross-examination. Now, as Richens awaits her sentencing on May 13th, experts anticipate her legal team is already preparing a lengthy appeals process. And a 29-year-old Huntington man has been sentenced to 2 years of probation after authorities discovered his 2 young half-sisters riding in a freezing refrigerated trailer following a crash along I-15 in September of last year. Now, the man pleaded guilty in January to 2 reduced Class A misdemeanor counts of intentional or knowing aggravated child abuse. Now, during his sentencing that was held earlier this week, a judge suspended 2 364-day jail sentences and instead ordered him to serve 24 months of probation, complete parenting classes, and abstain from alcohol. Now, the Utah Highway Patrol discovered the 12 and 14-year-old girls following a 5-vehicle crash that happened in Linden. Well, it's been a gorgeous afternoon as temperatures have been in the mid-70s, sunny skies, and this forecast is just going to continue through the rest of the week and get warmer as we head into tomorrow and Friday. As temperatures going to top out in the high 70s today, will drop into the mid to low 40s tonight. Clear skies continuing tomorrow as we'll be in the high 70s again, and it looks like low 80s are coming for Friday. And weather this hour brought to you by Valley Recycling. They'll pay you cash for metal, copper, aluminum, steel, old cars, old appliances, not only helping you recycle, but it protects the environment. It's Valley Recycling. Stop by at 145 North, 10th West in Logan. And it's 4:08 now. I'll have another check of local news coming up at the bottom of the hour. Will Feelright for KVNU News.
Did you know you can cut your Rocky Mountain power bill by 40 to 50% without a single solar panel? With the new time of use rates, power is 4.5 times more expensive in the evening, but cheap during the day. At Greenbox Solar, we install smart home batteries that charge up when electricity is cheap, then power your home during peak hours. Solar is totally optional and can be added in the future, but savings are guaranteed. Drop by Greenbox Solar's showroom in South Logan to see the hardware for yourself. Visit our website at poweredbygreenbox.com.
The Above and Beyond Salute, sponsored by Firehouse Subs, recognizing first responders and other deserving individuals in our community. Friday mornings at 8:30 on News Talk KVNU.
Hi everyone, it's Congressman Blake Moore here. Representing Utah's priorities in Congress and providing top-notch constituent service is at the heart of everything Team Moore does. We've had great success helping Utahns with expedited passports, visa processing, veterans benefits, immigration petitions, retirement issues, tax returns, and much more. If you need help navigating a federal agency, including the IRS, Social Security, the VA, Immigration Services, or Medicare, please give my office a call at 801-625-0107. That's 801-625-0107. We're also happy to help coordinate any U.S. Capitol tours, take your comments, and provide legislative updates at any time. I also want to invite you to sign up for my weekly e-newsletter. This is our most popular form of communication with constituents, and each week I share a personal takeaway, legislative updates, recent meetings, a member spotlight, upcoming events, and much more. Sign up today at blakemore.house.gov. It is an honor to serve you and your family in Congress. Thank you. Paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives.
The madness.
Also to Clark. Throws down the two-handed hammer. That's your exclamation point.
Starts.
Utah State is going to win the Mountain West Conference Tournament.
Now.
He lays it up and in. What a pass. Adlon Elamy.
It's the NCAA Tournament. Join us Friday. The Aggies. The Wildcats. Live from San Diego, California. On your home for Aggie basketball.
Pregame begins at 1. Tip-off is set for just after 2 with post-game analysis and Aggie call immediately after on News Talk KVNU, the heritage home for the Aggies.
KVNU's For the People with Jason Williams and Bill Walter.
And it is Utah known as the fraud capital of the world. Not because we have more people committing fraud, but because we have so many people falling for it.
Going beneath the headlines and connecting you to the newsmakers.
The radio is a great way to get the word out to a lot of people in an emergency. So we thank you for your help and being a partner with us.
For the People on News Talk KVNU, 610 AM, 102.1 FM, online at 610kvnu.com and on the KVNU mobile app.
Welcome to KVNU's For the People. It is Wednesday, March 18th. I'm Jason Williams. 75 degrees here at the Radio Ranch at 4:11 in the afternoon. 75 degrees. Man, it is. It feels like June out there. The trees and the plants think it's June. Hopefully that isn't a problem later if we get some cooler temperatures setting back in. But the warm late spring, early summer months came early. Enjoy it while it lasts, and thank you for tuning in today. Coming up, we'll be spotlighting Science Unwrapped. Our good friend Marianne Muffaletto joining us later on in the show to talk about their second-to-last Science Unwrapped event of the school year proper, and it's focused on bees, queen bees specifically, but just keep that spring theme going. into the second hour of the show. Here in hour one, it is time for our monthly visit with Logan City Mayor Mark Anderson. It's Speak to the Mayor here on For the People. And Mayor Anderson, appreciate you making the time to do this. It's busy out there, to say the least. I noticed that the ice rink came down.
Yes.
That was
yes.
How long does that take to
That is a great question.
that?
To be
Because
honest, I do not know.
it seemed to be weeks. I noticed that they just started letting the ice thaw, and then they
thaw out. Yeah.
Then I noticed they'd kind of broken the ice up in chunks and piled it up to thaw out. And
despite the warm weather for the winter and the rain, we had to deal with
we
had to deal with unusual conditions.
some
this
rainy
year.
days in February.
I think we had record number of attendance for the ice skating. Yeah, which is great.
It was packed. I've talked to so many people who don't even skate that enjoy going down there just because there's a crowd,
right?
And there's refreshments, and there are a lot of restaurants and retail nearby, walking distance around the corner,
right?
And they just go down there and hang out on a Saturday night.
It's a lot of fun, yeah. And there's a lot of great things going on there in Lob Plaza and around. Good restaurants, great places to hang out. You're right there in the entertainment district, with all of the theaters and everything. So,
and I did notice that
really
the UFU students seem to have discovered it.
Yeah. So a little
a popular date night attraction from what I can tell.
A little sneak peek for like next winter, and you got to, it's 75 degrees outside right now, but you got to keep it in perspective because 3 years ago we had 4 feet of snow on the ground.
Yeah.
At this time, and it lasted until the 10th of April. And I remember that really, really well because we had zero business at Anderson's that spring. In fact, I looked at those numbers today and I was like, oh my gosh, that March was just like brutal. Oh, that's right. We had 6 feet of snow. Yeah, we had snow on it. It's like so crazy.
April 10th is the day because I remember on April 10th I had to run the snowblower. And I made a mental note of that year.
2 feet of snow on my deck. It's just like I'll never forget that.
And this year I haven't fired the snowblower up once.
Yeah, my father had a saying, and it's always been true, is one extreme follows the next.
Yeah.
And so it's not like the next year necessarily, but it's like we had the snowiest winter ever 3 years ago, like the snowiest winter ever recorded in Cache Valley.
Now Salt Lake is setting heat records,
and now we have like the least snow ever. So I mean, I'm not surprised.
Yeah,
it's not a surprise.
Utah's always, especially in the fall and the spring, the weather is always pretty. The joke is you leave the house with 3 different sets of clothing.
Yeah.
Because you don't know how the day is going to end in Utah in the fall and the spring.
But I did want to give you a sneak peek of what we're going to do for the ice skating, the Lob Plaza ice skating circle when next year rolls around. Is we're going to have the skates in a different location, and we'll either have a trailer there that we'll rent the skates out of. We'll do something different so that the stage will be open.
Okay.
And we'll be able to do, music and entertainment throughout the winter time. So we'll have some activities and events going on in Lob Plaza for the holidays. And so instead of just ice skating, maybe we'll have some live music as well too. We could do a really cool, first night type event there for New Year's Eve, and have outside and have some live entertainment, and maybe have some food trucks to go along with all the great restaurants that are already down there doing some different things. So we've got some cool plans for the Lob Plaza for next winter.
It's a great space.
Yeah,
it
really is.
And of course you've got the I forget the name now. The summer concert series.
Concert series is coming up.
That's coming up, and
so I think they've got a couple dates lined up, and they're still working on a bunch more. But it's not June yet. So,
yeah.
So we're getting close.
We have to pace these announcements too.
Yeah. But Plaza 45, the building just to the south of the plaza. We've got some tenants moving in there too.
Oh, really?
So, yeah. So last
now, that's been empty since before the Emporium came down,
right? They've been renovating. So there's a lot of wellness businesses going in there, and I can't tell you exactly which ones they are because I don't have the list in front of me. But Carvel Ice Cream's kind of looking like they're going to move in there too. So
really,
yeah. So we could have some really good options of some nice businesses there to kind of support the Lob Plaza and what's going on.
That's very cool
too. Yeah.
This is, it's my favorite time of year as things start to warm up. I mean, earlier this year, as we've been discussing, but it's, for those who enjoy theater district entertainment, that season is in full swing, and that just continues through the summer into the fall. But you also have, summer movie season. And you also have, I call it outdoor event season.
Yes.
And I think it's one of the most exciting things to see. The effort that understanding that Logan City is a bit of an entertainment hub for the Valley.
Right.
Not to, disrespect anything other cities plan, because every city has their own, a good weather entertainment schedule for residents. But Logan has really made that a priority to get people outside, to get people collecting together as Logan residents and Valley residents to enjoy music. And this isn't something that happens by accident, right?
No. And we're planning ahead to try and create opportunities. One thing that we may be doing with Cache Valley Media is a couple satellite locations during the fireworks this year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and so we're hoping to have probably 2 or 3 bands playing in the plaza, like right before the fireworks.
Oh, that's
so
a good
instead
idea.
of going to Willow Park, you can actually go downtown and you can hang out, have some music, get something to eat.
Oh, very cool.
And then when the fireworks go off, you'll be able to see it from like Center Street and Lob Plaza. But we're also going to do the same thing or similar out at the soccer fields by Blackhawk.
Okay.
And so there's a lot of people that go and throw out blankets and watch the fireworks from there because it's a great place to hang out. But it sounds like Cache Valley Media is going to take the truck over there and broadcast music. And then broadcast and broadcast
they
the
don't
fireworks
tell me anything
after.
around here.
No, we've kind of been working on this one behind the scenes because I wanted to set up some satellite locations around Logan where you
That's a
don't
really good idea.
don't have to go to Willow Park to watch the fireworks. So we'll have some other
options
good locations. I'm gonna tell you my favorite idea, but I kind of got shot down by Parks and Rec. But I wanted
Russ is so
no, it's not even Russ. It's the golf course because I'm like going, do we use the driving range and let people come watch the fireworks? And they're like, oh yeah, people come and they play volleyball and they do a bunch of stuff, but it sounds like it's like packed there. And so I'm like, well, what if we had like some private locations on the golf course where you could kind of rent a spot and then we'd like take you out on the golf carts and you kind of had a spot out in the golf course to watch the fireworks from. I thought it was such a great idea. and Randy Oldham kind of said no.
I get that, but at the same time, that is a very
there could
good
be some
idea.
damage out there on the golf course, and so it's like I totally understand where he's coming from. But I'm
That
just
is a
like,
good idea,
I'm
though.
like, God, this would be so great because it is fun to go to some of those places where there's a lot of people hanging out.
Yeah.
But it's also kind of nice to go somewhere where there's nobody hanging out.
A little less crowded.
A little less crowded.
That is
and so
very
it's
cool.
like, oh, this would be great. So we decided to do the soccer fields instead. But we can have like your van show up there and they can play music. And then when the fireworks start, you can broadcast the fireworks. And we thought that would be such a great place.
This is a really good idea.
And so I also reached out to Utah State and I said, hey, do you guys want to play? And they're like, what are you thinking? And I was like, well, where if we do the fireworks and we have some different locations, you still have students at USU during the summer. And it's like, can you open up the amphitheater that's like there on the southwest
Which, by the
corner,
way, is a great place to see the fireworks.
southwest corner of Old Main. It's like, can you open that up and let people sit there and watch the fireworks? Maybe you could have a little bit of, band music. You could do John Philip Sousa music there. Have the band play and then have the fireworks afterwards. It's like this would be like a really cool thing. So then we
it's a great idea to spread it out through multiple locations.
Then we'd have 4 different locations for people to hang out with different things going on at each location. So I'm trying to find I'm trying to find some other spots as well too. So I mean, as much fun as it is going to Willow Park, it's kind of a nightmare afterwards getting out of there with the traffic and everything.
Which honestly is why those who want to go but don't, that's usually why. When I speak
exactly,
with people.
like, oh, I don't want to go down there. It's like, it's too crazy.
It takes an hour to get out.
But if we have 5 or 6 other locations around Logan where you can go and hang out and you can do something fun and maybe have a little bit of entertainment, and then as soon as the sun goes down, it's like, okay, in half an hour, everybody stay here because you're going to be able to see the fireworks great from like right here, and we're going to broadcast the music and everything. So those are the spots that I'm looking for.
Keep an eye on this one, folks, because this is, and of course, Logan is, we talked about this last time, Logan is also combining July 4th events with an overall summer-long America 250 celebration.
Exactly. We got some cool stuff happening at the library. With the fireworks, though, this is the one question I get the most of. When is it going to go back to the stadium, at USU? Kind of been working on that. It's not out of the realm of possibility, but it's not like absolutely a sure thing. So we're still kind of working on that.
How that would work.
But I think the amphitheater would be really, really fun. But we're going to invest a little bit of extra money this year for America 250. And so we're going to have a bigger fireworks show. And then the shells are going to be also much larger. We're going to do 5-inch shells.
Oh, wow.
And so it will go up a lot higher. And so you'll be able to see it better from different locations around town. So we're planning on that specifically. So we're looking for some more partners to put out another satellite location or 2, and I'll follow up with USU and see if they can make that work. But I think it would be great to have 5 or 6 different locations around town where something is happening on the 3rd, and then when that's done, you're like 10 minutes away, 15 minutes away from the fireworks, and you're just like,
it's a good idea.
Just stay here. It's like, don't even go down to Willow Park. Just stay here. You're going to enjoy the show. We had some fun. And then everybody goes home afterwards.
I like it.
So
this is talking a little bit about some of the things planned in Logan City this summer, coming together for the 4th of July, the months-long America 250 celebration that will be happening in Logan and statewide.
Our first lecture series is next Thursday.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, it's marked. It's
these are on the calendar.
It's Damon Cann from USU Political Science Department. And he's going to do an hour lecture at the Logan Library, and I'm thinking it is next Thursday.
Yeah, it's
next Thursday.
For listeners, go to loganutah.gov and click on the events tab there, and you can actually see the America 250 events tab there, and you can actually see the schedule. And Damon Cann is a fun guy to hear if you've never had a chance to hear him speak. But
this will be great. So he's kicking off the series, and it is that same Thursday every month all the way through the rest of the year. And we've got different professors from USU lined up for the entire year to come talk about historic events and historic people and personae, and it should be great.
Very nice.
Yeah, it should be great. So
all right.
I'm excited about it.
Stick around. We're speaking with Logan City Mayor Mark Anderson. It's our monthly Speak to the Mayor segment here on For the People, and we'll keep it going right after this.
When it comes to your ear, nose, and throat care, you deserve expert treatment from a board-certified physician. No nurse practitioners, no physician assistants. Dr. Andrew Goes with Intermountain Budge ENT Clinic provides comprehensive medical and surgical care, creating personalized treatment plans that fit you. With seamless coordination between specialties at Budge Clinic, your care is truly connected. Their convenient online platform makes scheduling and communication easy. Call Budge Clinic ENT today at 435-716-1420. Local care with Intermountain expertise.
It's Truck Month at West Motor Company, and around here, buying a truck still starts with a handshake. West Motor Truck Month. For over 80 years, West Motor has been doing business the right way. Straight talk and serious savings. We're talking up to $12,000 off heavy-duty trucks and up to $11,000 off half-tons. Plus, get 0% financing on select Ford trucks. Ford, Ram, built to haul, built to work. And if West Motor doesn't have exactly what you're looking for, they'll find it. West Motor Truck Month. Come experience the West Motor difference.
Discount Tire.
So much more than a
Tire Store.
Discount Tire and Automotive Spring Spectacular Sale is on through March 26th. Buy 3 select tires and get the 4th free. Plus, receive a free front-end alignment with any 4-tire purchase. If funds are tight, never fear. Discount Tire and Automotive offers 12 months no-interest financing as low as $45 per month. Find out more at webtires.net. Discount Tire and Automotive in Logan, Providence, and Smithfield.
The Above and Beyond Salute.
Hello.
Is Stephanie Allred there?
This is her.
Stephanie, wondered if you would be interested in free lunch.
That would be awesome.
Well, we've heard that you're pretty awesome. Someone told us that you are a volunteer at the Warming Center. You're also a mother taking care of kids, and on top of that, you also are the community coordinator over at Bear River Mental Health.
I'm really humbled. I've been doing the Warming Center since they opened, and that caused really close to my heart.
The Above and Beyond Salute, sponsored by Firehouse Subs on News Talk KVNU.
Today's hearing aid technology can improve not only your life, but the lives of the people who care about you. Once again, you'll be able to hear the reason for their laughter and understand conversations. Dr. Paul Danes at Cache Valley Hearing and Audiology will customize a hearing improvement program to meet your unique requirements, whatever they are. Call Cache Valley Hearing and Audiology for an appointment and let them show you how.
Bring back what you've been missing. Bring back Cache Valley Hearing and Audiology.
You're listening to Speak to the Mayor here on KVNU's For the People. Logan City Mayor Mark Anderson here in the studio with us. Just a quick note, listener had asked about this last time we spoke. I wanted to remind everyone again before we get to the news here at the bottom of the hour, but part of this America 250 celebration in Logan, Utah, Mayor Anderson last month announced Project Inspire. This is a grant program that Logan City will be running, community-driven initiative meant to empower Logan students, young people, to make a lasting impact on their city and their neighborhood. And the grant encourages, creativity, leadership, and service projects, things like that. But there is a link right now where you can actually read the guidelines and submit an application for one of these grants. And I encourage everyone to go do that. Visit loganutah.gov, click on America 250, and down the left side there, you'll see the link to the Project Inspire grants. Again, Logan City Mayor Mark Anderson here in the studio with us for our Speak to the Mayor monthly segment. And if you have questions or comments for the mayor, 753-5868. We'll be back with more right after this look at the news with KVNU's Will Feel Right.
Well, thank you, Jason. The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints announcing earlier today that women may now serve as Sunday school presidents at the local congregational level. Now, this marks a significant leadership shift. In a letter that was sent to global church leaders this morning, the First Presidency and Quorum of the 12 Apostles stated that local bishops can now call either a man or a woman to lead their ward's Sunday school presidency. Now, previously, the position was restricted to men. Now, effective immediately, if a woman is called as president, her counselors and secretary must also be women. Conversely, male presidents must serve with all male presidencies as well. Now, the church noted that the makeup of these presidencies may alternate based on a congregation's circumstances. Now, the role of the stake Sunday school president still remains unchanged and restricted to men. The policy change is reflected in the church's updated General Handbook. And Salt Lake City Mayor Aaron Mendenhall has formally requested a meeting with U.S. Immigrations and Customs Enforcement to discuss the agency's recent $145 million purchase of a local warehouse to use as a detention center. Now, in a letter to acting ICE Director Todd Lyons, Mendenhall outlined concerns regarding the facility's potential impact on the city's infrastructure, public safety, and traffic. Now, she warned that the detention center, which is located west of the Salt Lake City International Airport, could strain police and fire departments that are already operating at maximum capacity. Now, additionally, Mendenhall noted that the federal purchase will cost local entities more than $1 million in property tax revenue. Now, Mendenhall criticized the Department of Homeland Security for bypassing local leaders. Republican Senator John Curtis has echoed her frustration, condemning the agency's backdoor negotiations. And a man convicted of killing a 13-year-old boy in a 2022 hit-and-run crash in West Jordan was denied early release yesterday by the Utah Board of Pardons and Parole. Mason Ohms, who is currently serving up to 15 years in prison for automobile homicide and leaving the scene of an accident, will now not be eligible for another parole hearing until August of 2032. Now, Ohms struck Eli Mitchell while the teen was riding his bike in a crosswalk back on April 26th of 2022. Now, authorities had noted that Ohms had fled the scene and had a history of multiple DUI offenses prior to the fatal crash. Now, the board's decision yesterday arrived just one day after what would have been Eli's 17th birthday. Now, the Mitchell family, who testified against Ohms' release at his February hearing, expressed relief at the outcome. Eli's grandfather, Glendon Mitchell, said that it is what they had hoped for and is a measure of justice. Well, it's been a gorgeous afternoon as we've enjoyed sunshine, temperatures in the high 70s today, and it's only going to get warmer as we head through the rest of the week, as temperatures tonight will drop into the low 40s. Tomorrow we'll continue to see sunny, clear skies, temperatures in the high 70s to low 80s, and that's going to continue into Friday as we'll see some record-breaking temperatures over the next 3 days. And weather this hour brought to you by Logan Extermination. Don't let pests or disease kill your trees again this year. Logan Extermination offers a dormant tree spray to help protect your trees. Give them a call to get signed up. It's 752-8450. And I'm Will Theelright for KVNU News.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. Uncertainty over the ongoing war in Iran weighing on global oil and gas prices. The Federal Reserve Board says it's a factor for leaving interest rates unchanged for now. ABC's Elizabeth Schulze has details.
That key rate for the Federal Reserve staying in a range of 3.5% to 3.75%. The Federal Reserve did make a change to its statement that was just released. They say that the implications of developments in the Middle East for the U.S. economy are uncertain, going on to say that the economy is expanding at a solid pace.
Strikes on oil and gas facilities escalating today in the Middle East. The Qatar Interior Ministry says Iran hit the world's largest liquefied natural gas terminal. It comes after Israelis struck an Iranian gas field. The partial government shutdown will hit the 2-month mark next week if lawmakers don't find a fix to DHS funding. It's putting a strain on TSA workers on the job without pay. This is ABC News.
Did you lose your fruit tree harvest last year? Don't let pests and disease take over again. Now's the time to protect your trees with Logan Extermination's Dormant Tree Spray Services. This time-sensitive treatment stops insects, insect eggs, and diseases before they start, keeping your trees healthy all season long. Logan Extermination will treat all trees and offers season-long protection packages too. Don't wait. Schedule today. Call Logan Extermination at 752-8450. That's 752-8450. Logan Extermination, a division of Anderson Seed and Garden.
Bringing Wall Street to Main Street. From your local experts in downtown Logan, this is the Adams Wealth Advisors Market Report.
Hello, my name is Braden Barlow with Adams Wealth Advisors. Stocks saw most of their gains from the first 2 days of the week. Wiped out on Wednesday, the trio of hard hits landed on the market. First, oil prices climbed further, with Brent rising more than 5% to above $100 per barrel, and WTI increasing by more than 2%. Then there were February's wholesale inflation figures, which rose much more than expected, reflecting higher costs prior to the war in Iran. Finally, although the Federal Reserve projected a quarter-point cut later this year and another in 2027, it also stated that economic activity has been expanding at a solid pace and that inflation remains somewhat elevated, which added to the market's unease. All major stock indices posted meaningful losses. The Dow Jones Industrial Average declined by 768 points to 46,225. The Nasdaq dipped 1.43% to 24,425. The S&P 500 lost 1.36% to 6,625. No sector was safe from today's decline, but consumer staples, consumer discretionary, and materials fell the most, each losing more than 2%. Safe haven assets also did not perform well. The 5-year U.S. Treasury yield rose 9 basis points to 3.88%, and the 10-year yield rose 7 basis points to 4.27%. Gold, an asset that is especially sensitive to interest rates, declined by more than 3% to below the 4,900 mark. As the conflict in the Middle East continues, more uncertainty is being introduced into the market as the potential impact grows steeper and longer lasting. Here at Adams Wealth Advisors, we will continue to bring you the latest updates. Thank you for listening.
That's your update from Adams Wealth Advisors, guiding your financial future one day at a time. For personalized help planning yours, reach out to us at 435-752-1702. See you soon, Cache Valley. Advisory services offered through Adams Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor. For important disclosures and more information, visit adamswealthadvisors.com.
The madness.
Wilson to Clark. Throws down the two-handed hammer. That's your exclamation point.
Starts.
Utah State is going to win the Mountain West Conference Tournament.
Now.
He lays it up and in. What a pass. Adlon Elamy.
It's the NCAA Tournament. Join us Friday. The Aggies. The Wildcats. Live from San Diego, California. On your home for Aggie basketball.
Pregame begins at 1. Tip-off is set for just after 2, with post-game analysis and Aggie call immediately after on News Talk KVNU, the heritage home for the Aggies.
Welcome back to KVNU's For the People. It's Speak to the Mayor, our monthly segment with Logan City Mayor Mark Anderson. And I have to say that I experienced this with Mayor Peterson and Mayor Watts before him when we first started doing this monthly segment. But it takes months for me to stop saying the former mayor's name as I introduce the segment. And so you get in these habits and it just becomes, muscle memory almost, but with your voice. And I keep wanting to spout off with Logan City Mayor Holly Daines, but she's off enjoying retirement.
Having a great time.
I hope so. She worked hard. But you come at this job now with, is it strange a little bit? Because in a way, like Mayor Daines, you kind of just moved down the hall, sort of. You'd already, with the city council, you've been very involved in the city business. There wasn't a long period for you to learn how things work because you'd already learned. And so you moved down the hall. You have an office with a different name on the door and a different title that people call you now. Yeah. I have to ask, though, is it hard sometimes now as mayor to kind of sit back and let the city council just do do what they do?
We had council last night, and I'm sitting over there, and there's a couple of times where I'm like, I'll vote for that. No, it's like, oh no, it's like, I don't do that anymore.
I don't do that anymore.
Yeah, it's like I'll move. No, can't do that anymore. It's definitely a different responsibility, and so as city council, you definitely feel the weight and the pressure of being financially responsible for the city, because really every penny goes through council.
Sure. And
we kind of made that apparent last night because somebody had asked about some money we'd received from the state towards wildfire.
Mitigation efforts.
We had sent some of our firefighters to go help in Wyoming and some other places, and so that money finally came back in. But it's money that's already been spent, but it's also money that comes in that has to be appropriated by city council because it wasn't part of the budget. So every time we even get like a grant for $8,000 from the state library system for product or material for the library, that has to go through city council. We can receive the money, but we can't do anything with it until they allocate it and say, okay, we're gonna use that for book purchases, or we're gonna reimburse the fire department for the $400,000 that they already spent to take care of this wildfire. Now we're finally getting the funds back in there. And so that definitely has a responsibility, but then you're also legislative, and you are creating ordinances and resolutions and approving that.
Yeah.
And so it has a different weight and a different responsibility. And so now I'm sitting on the other side, and I'm executive, and like say the council a couple like last month, they were debating whether to change the fees for the library for non-Logan residents. And they were debating whether to go from the $169 that it costs per year right now down to like $125, or if they're going to go up to $250, which is probably closer to what it really costs. And they were debating that, and I'm sitting over there going, oh, I'm so glad it's them and it's not me. It's like, they have to make that decision. But whatever decision they made, I was fine with, because I would make it work. It's like, that's my job now. It's like, whatever they decide they want to do, I'm going to make it work.
Implement it.
Yeah, we're going to implement it. We're going to find the best way to do it. We're going to try and save the most money. And that's, for me, that's a lot of pressure off of me, because like whatever they decide, it's like, okay, I can work with that. I can take care of that. And so it's actually a lot less pressure for me.
Makes sense.
And running a business for so many years, I'm already used to dealing with employee issues, so I'm in charge of staff,
which is a big part of the
it's a huge
right?
part of it. And so I'm like I'm already used to doing that, and I'm already used to trying to find solutions for people. And so it kind of fits into my skill set really well, because I'm kind of used to making those decisions already.
Logan has been lucky too in that realm. Speaking of your staff, the people that make the city run, not a lot of relative to the county, especially right now, not a lot of turnover.
No, and we've got such a
you have some knowledgeable people.
Such a great staff, and they run the day-to-day everything that happens. Whether it's water or it's environmental, who's picking up solid waste, or taking care of your water treatment, wastewater treatment facility, or if it's streets, or if it's the parks and rec. I mean, every department they're taking care of what they need to take care of, and I'm there to support them and to help them in their job, and maybe give some guidance and direction. And there's been a few things that we've figured out that I know about, but some of the other departments don't necessarily. And I've been able to chime in and say, hey, but Parks and Rec need this, and they're like, oh, we didn't know about that. So it's like, oh, we'll go talk to them and get this problem fixed out. And so there's a couple things they're working on Canyon Road right now that we have identified that it could in the future be an issue for Parks and Rec. Needed Public Works to come and help with that, and then community development to come and help with that. And then all of a sudden we figured out, we can solve this problem right now, because they're doing that work on Canyon Road, and
which is always going to be cheaper, right?
Yeah, if we just tie this in right now, while they already have it torn up, then when we
you don't have to dig a second time.
When we work on this other project, then it's already taken care of, And so it's been really fun. I'm not afraid to say that. People will look at me funny when they say, "How is it? How is it being mayor? How's
want you to say,
how's that going?"
Oh, it's horrible.
And I look at them in the eye and I say, to be honest, I'm having a blast. This is really really fun, because every day, not every day, at least weekly, something comes across my desk, something falls into my lap that we just kind of go, "That's a really cool opportunity."
Sure.
It's like, how can we take advantage of that, and how's that going to benefit our residents by doing this? And that has been really, really exciting to watch happen as these different things come. And depending on, I guess, your attitude, you could look at it and go, well, that's another problem that I have to solve. And I'm looking at it going, ooh, this could be something really cool.
Something you can turn into.
This could be really cool if we look at it this way. And so I'm not really noticing many problems to have to deal with.
I know your philosophy too.
I'm just looking at it like, these are great opportunities for us to do something for our city.
And we've spoken before. Your philosophy is that when you're a candidate for the mayoral job, I remember you said that your philosophy is that these are opportunities that you've got to remember. Your job is to, even though you felt Logan City's on a good trajectory, and you said I don't want to come in and change the direction a lot, but you do have a philosophy that you have to take these opportunities every chance you get to improve things.
Exactly. There's always things that we can improve, and sometimes a problem that we have to address, there's multiple ways to do it.
Sure.
And we can look at it as an opportunity to do something better. And so that's the way I'm looking at it. If it's not not just like so astronomically expensive that we can't do
and
it.
Some of them are,
and
right?
Some are, sometimes it's like, oh, that would be really cool. Oh no, we can't afford that. That's just too much. But just trying to find ways, to do things without spending a lot of money that are really going to improve our city, our parks, our residents, way of life, and that quality
Logan's
of life.
Done a lot on that front already. I forget that. I remember with Mayor Daines we talked about the mileage of trails, the acres of park space,
right?
But and we all, understandably get kind of locked into our own communities, our where we work, where we live. That's what we know the most. But I think people easily forget that in Logan City, the amount of recreation space that exists, the amount of trail, we're talking miles of trail that exist within the city.
They're working on
about to get larger.
Yeah, they're
with
working
that
on
underpass.
a trail at Trapper Park right now.
Oh, really?
A really cool trail. And then when the underpass under Main Street gets done, then we're connecting east and west with another trail. So you can basically you're going to be able to go from Logan Canyon and the Bonneville Shoreline Trail all the way over to Petersboro without putting a foot on City Street.
No exaggeration.
No,
I mean you could literally.
That's what we're shooting for.
That could be a whole family that could be their entire Saturday on bikes, and I think that's so
and
cool.
There'll be different ways to get there. So it's not just one trail; it's like a network of different trails. But really, you'll only have that one way across Main Street.
That's right.
Because UDOT will only let us do so much. It's like we can't build a bridge over the top of it or anything. So that's really cool. Did you see last month that the golf course was in the top 5 public courses in the state? Yeah. So,
which is, I know it draws a lot of people from out of town, which is what you want. That's revenue, and they don't stick around and use the infrastructure as much. But speaking of the trails, very quickly, we should remind everyone of the open house coming up. This is March 23rd, right?
Yes.
Do I have that date right?
I think so.
It's set from 6 to 7 p.m. UDOT at Logan City Hall on March 23rd. Will be kind of presenting on the plan for this pedestrian underpass. They'll go under Main Street at the south end of the valley, south end of Main Street, 6 South. I saw the designs. This is way fancier than I thought UDOT was going to.
It's pretty cool.
Do
yeah, it's pretty cool. And then a link up to the trail. It goes through Riverwoods, and then it links up on the trail. It goes like kind of past Adams Wealth, right there on the other side. So we've got trails that already meet up right there. So this really is a connector.
This is a very cool thing to see, honestly. Yeah. Again, speaking with Logan City Mayor Mark Anderson here on the show. If you have any questions or comments, you're welcome to join us, 753-5868, or you can post your message in the Google Talk chat. We're KVNU FTP on Google Chat if you'd like to message that way. We'll keep the conversation going here. Again, it's Speak to the Mayor on KVNU's For the People.
News Talk 610 AM, 102.1 FM, KVNU.
Yeah, it's cold, but winter is no excuse to let that junk vehicle sit around another month. DD Auto and Salvage in Logan is paying top dollar right now for junk cars and scrap metal, and they'll even pick it up. And here's the big news. With Box Elder County's salvage yard gone, DD Auto proudly serves Brigham City to Malad and beyond. With the Valley View Highway complete, it's an easy drive, or just let DD Auto and Salvage come to you. Call 787-1204. That's 787-1204. DD Auto and Salvage, turning winter junk into serious cash.
First impressions are usually the most striking, which is why your landscape should leave a lasting impression. But the right landscape can be tough to create, unless you know the right people. Only Canyon Landscaping knows what it takes to make a property stand out. Their goal is simple: to ensure total client satisfaction through the highest quality landscape. And right now is the perfect time to install or upgrade your landscape. Call Canyon Landscaping at 752-3838. That's 752-3838. Canyon Landscaping. Look for the leaf.
Discount Tire. So much more than a tire.
Discount Tire and Automotive Spring Spectacular Sale is on. Not only will you save on tires from manufacturers like Michelin, BF Goodrich, and Rodex, but you'll save with service coupons, including free flat repair, $15 off full synthetic oil change, shocks, buy 3, get the 4th one free, and complete front and rear brake service, $75 off. Discount Tire and Automotive also offers 12 months no-interest financing. Discount Tire and Automotive in Logan, Providence, and Smithfield. Find out more at webtires.net.
This is the Sean Hannity Show.
The ACLU complained in 2014 that 83% of illegal aliens deported by Barack Obama did not get due process. Where were the protests back in the day? I can't imagine. why they gave Obama a pass. And all the people getting killed during Obama's term in his home city of Chicago, did not a peep out of him.
Weekday afternoons from 1 to 4 on News Talk KVNU.
Welcome back to KVNU's For the People. Mayor Mark Anderson here in the studio for our Speak to the Mayor segment this month. And this is kind of funny, Mayor. This is a listener via the Google Talk chat said he wants to know when Logan City is just going to put the wish list, the wish list whiteboard up at Logan City Hall where people can just list things and then rank them, and then the city is bound to do those things. And obviously it can't really work that way. But I tell you, if I could do that, I would put pressuring UDOT to put a physical median down Main Street, Logan would be my top. But I use that as an example of not everyone's going to love that.
Yeah,
and that's kind of your job as mayor, right? To kind of thread those needles.
Yeah, isn't that what the general plan is, though, that we just have been working on for the last year and a half?
Yeah,
I mean, that's kind of
right?
been the giant whiteboard for everybody to get their input in. And do that. Not that I don't love the idea,
It is.
This would be pretty.
It kind of speaks to how many plates have to be spun here to keep all this. You can't just do a wish. You can't get elected mayor and then just check off your wish
and
list.
What would be really nice is, since I was elected and started in January, and then you go and look at what's going on, and you go, oh, well, I kind of wanted to do this, but okay, we've got budget for it in 3 years. It's like some of the projects that we already have already been budgeted and allocated, and they're like set, and without completely changing the plan and throwing a monkey wrench in there,
which gets more expensive.
You just kind of have to flow with some of the stuff and say, okay, we're gonna start working on this, and in 2 years we'll be able to do that. And so a lot of people don't realize how much forecasting is built into that, and we're trying to anticipate revenues and what we're able to do with the budget that we've got. And a lot of things are budgeted 2 and 3 and 4 years out, like in advance of that, especially big street projects as well too. Sure. They're budgeted out for quite a while. And
the east to west street projects have been a focus of late, and that has been, as a non-Logan resident who commutes through Logan several times a day, thank you. That has been a welcome focus, I think, for everyone in the Valley to see those east to west corridors coming together.
Right.
But that's a great example because the planning on that, if I remember correctly, began 10 years ago.
Oh yeah, some of these plans.
And then the railroad.
I talked to Bill Young a little while ago, and he was city engineer for a long time. And, he worked for Logan City for like 20 years, and he retired like 4 or 5 years ago. And he was in the store the other day, and he's like, it's really nice to see all the things that we planned 20 years ago that are, just now coming to fruition. It's like, okay, great. Thanks for sharing that with me, Bill. 20 years, 20 years to get some of this stuff done. So it does move a little slow, but you have to find funding for a lot of things that you want to do, and whether that's federal or whether that's state or whether you're coming up with it from a county perspective, you got to find the money to do some of those things. And
the plus side of that though is when you do get, I was thinking, so in the last few years, Logan City has checked off the library, downtown plaza, getting rid of the old Emporium building. The list goes on, but all of this was done without blowing the budget up.
Oh, yeah,
and
exactly.
That's why you start planning 20 years prior, right?
That's why these reserves are really critical for us, and Logan City sets aside a lot of money for like capital improvements. But some of those projects do take 4 or 5 or 6 years to really implement, and we're putting money aside every year. It's kind of like when I was a kid, we were putting money in the piggy bank so we could go to Disneyland.
Because it's going to be necessary,
and so every chance we had, we were just like throwing a little bit of money in there, throw a little bit of money in there, save it for another big project. And, Logan's doing some really cool things with our new public works center. And so we're going to be starting on that really soon. So a lot of the plans are coming back for that. And, there's always something cool and new on the horizon. But I know the finance director has told the fire department, you just got your new fire station. Don't ask me for another penny for anything, you know. And Public Works is getting the Public Works Center, which is really outdated and old, and the new one's going to be amazing and actually really make them more productive,
sure,
and more efficient than what they are right now. So it's actually going to save us money. But he's also told them, don't ask me for another penny for like 10 years. You get nothing, and so it's really interesting.
That's the job of the finance director, right? Is to pinch the pennies.
Does a great job at that. Does an amazing job at that. So what I've realized in the short nearly 3 months that I've been in the city is the people that I work with, they really, really care about the city. Like they really care about the city, and it is important to them. And so they are trying to find every way possible to make some of these things happen. You know, they're looking for grants. They're trying to save some money. They're cutting things from their budget to try and, you know, make it all come together. And every time we meet, which is pretty much on a weekly basis, I learn more and more and more about how much they really love the city and how they're trying to do the best that they can with the resources that they have.
It shows because again the budget's never blown up. The projects continue to happen, and then on top of that, Logan City is dealing with a workload, quote unquote, that's larger than any other city in the valley. And then UDOT has control of 3 of the major roads, and you find a way to make that work as well.
Somebody came to council last night, and they're like, "Oh, it would be really nice if you put more left-hand turns in, in this spot and this spot, so you have those protected left hands." It's like you're talking our language, It's like, but getting UDOT to do that on 200 North and on 400 North and on Main Street, which is where all those spots are that she had identified. It's like, sorry, we don't have control over that.
Preaching to the choir.
Yeah. But it's like we feel exactly the same way that you do. We just wish we could do something about it. So
it is. Glad to see UDOT paying more attention to Cache Valley, prioritizing some things.
They're going to be doing some great things on Main Street. We're hoping to get them to do some great things on 400 North and 200 North as well, too.
Very nice.
And it'll help with traffic on Main Street. Absolutely.
Very cool.
Make a big difference.
Logan City Mayor Mark Anderson, thank you for your time today coming in and speaking to our listeners. Yeah. And for listeners, again, if you want to know more about some of the America 250 events, the Inspire grants, and more, visit loganutah.gov, click on America 250, and all the information to apply for those grants is right there. Get your young people interested. Thanks again to the mayor for stopping by, to our listeners for being here. Stick around. We'll kick off Hour 2 with USU's Marianne Muffaletto talking Science Unwrapped.